everyone crushes the Big 12 for football scheduling and the protected rivalries, but did they make an even bigger mistake with basketball scheduling? Some think so, and there is some damning evidence. Let's examine this. Will it kill the Big 12's NCAA tournament hopes? And do I blame Brett Yormark for this? I'll answer all those questions coming up in this video. Welcome in. It is the Open for Business Big 12 podcast. I am your host, John Kurtz. It was a wild week of Big 12 basketball, if you've been paying attention. Tuesday, man, like Texas Tech coming fresh off of spanking Iowa State and Hilton without JT Toppin. They lose at home to TCU. Jamie Dixon and his squad continue the most anemic resume with incredible highs and incredible lows. Arizona State beat Kansas. Bill Self got ejected. The smoke machine went off. You had Trey White being held back by an assistant. Jacques Vaughn was getting a technical. It was a wild game. But Bobby Hurley beats Kansas. K-State beat West Virginia and was up by 20 on West Virginia when the Mountaineers were playing a PJ Haggerty-less K-State with their NCAA tournament lives totally on the line. And yet K-State beat West Virginia. And then Oklahoma State, now really out of the NCAA tournament picture, beats UCF at home. That was at UCF. Crazy night. And you might just say, wow, I mean, this league, that's great. What a fun night. That's not what everybody was saying. I saw some of this feedback that hey, has the Big 12 screwed itself by backloading the schedule too much? Okay. So Matthew, I saw a couple of these tweets from him. He said Texas Tech loses to TCU, BYU down double digits to Cincinnati, Kansas down double digits to Arizona State. You cannot tell me that the Big 12 backloading every single great team in the league isn't showing its dark side this week. All right. It's a spicy take. And this is not the first time, as I mentioned, that Brett Yormark and company have taken some real heat for scheduling. Most of the time that occurs in football with things like K-State, Iowa State not playing every year, Baylor, Texas Tech, all of that. So was this actually a big mistake, and who is to blame if so? Subscribe to the channel, pushing toward 35K subs. It helps me. It's totally free if you do. I appreciate those of you who do. Well, let's start with TV ratings, right? We've had some TV data trickling out lately, and these big Monday games have been killing it for the Big 12. I mean, 2 million viewers for KU Houston. I guess it wasn't Big Monday, but that huge Saturday game with AJ DeBonsa against Aaron Peterson, that had over 2 million as well for Kansas and BYU, which those are great numbers for college basketball. And if you just if you look down the list of what these big Monday games have been, how could ESPN and TV not absolutely love this? And how could this not be just a wonderful thing for overall exposure for your conference? We had Arizona at BYU. That was back on January 26th, right? When BYU was still much more in it. Arizona at BYU. And that turned out to be a great game, right? That crazy comeback. Kansas at Texas Tech. It's a great game. Darren Peterson took over at the end. Arizona at Kansas. KU wins without Darren Peterson. Great game. Houston at Iowa State. Incredible stuff from Iowa State at the end of the game to pull that one out. Insane environment at Hilton. Houston at Kansas. Now, that was a dud of a game, but it was two very good teams. And then Iowa State at Arizona, again, sort of a dud of a game, but two really good, two top 5 teams that you're talking about there, right? That is bangers are us all over that schedule, man. But the question that was raised is, our teams getting too beat up because of this at the wrong time of the year at the back end of the schedule here? And will that hurt the league's postseason chances a year after the SEC took for at least a year the mantle of being the best consensus conference in college basketball? And of course, they won the national championship over a Big 12 team. Well, first things first, I would say you have to take the risk if you're the Big 12 to load up the TV schedule like that. You have to take the risk. What have we talked about over and over and over again? If the Big 12 is going to try and close the gap, one thing they need to do is accentuate their basketball advantage as much as possible. They have the edge with the best basketball product, theoretically, out there in the country. So you decouple your rights, you sell the basketball TV rights separately, hopefully make more money there, and gain at least a little bit of ground on the Big Ten and the SEC. Brett Yormark, it seems like no secret that that's something he's probably going to do. So if that's the case, you need to load up your TV schedule. You need to make it as enticing as possible. TV partners, whether it's ESPN or otherwise, seeing this lineup are going to be like, yes, give me that. I get that every Monday night. Hell yeah. It'll help the TV contract and get you more money when you go to do that. And I'm not saying that all of it has to be ideal for what you would want from just like a competitive standpoint, but neither is sending teams to go play in Ireland at the beginning of the year, right? But K-State, Iowa State, I believe, was the highest rated Big 12 game last year because it's week 0. Everybody's itching for football, right? And they watch your game. Playing on Fridays, right? Getting those standalone windows like that. Playing in the after dark slot. I know it's annoying to have a game kick off at like 9 or 10 o'clock, depending on where you are, but the Big 12 needs those windows to maximize TV, even if it's not totally and completely ideal. So you have to take some of that risk, I would say. And I just don't think that it hurts that much. I think it's easy to confuse. There's a difference between causation and correlation here. It's easy to confuse, like, hey, man, you're in the dog days of playing in a great conference. This is the dog days. If you're thinking about, you always think dog days of summer in the baseball schedule. Like, this is like late July in the baseball schedule. You've been going for a long time. And in the Big 12, you're playing a lot of very good teams, regardless of where you're putting them in the schedule. It's just getting to that time of year where teams are a little bit beat up and teams are weary. And everybody typically gets a bit more of a shot in the arm when March rolls around, right? So and the injury bug stuff, like, JT Toppin was not hurt because of Big Monday. I don't think that's what happened to JT Toppin. Richie Saunders a month ago, I don't think was hurt because BYU had played one Big Monday game and then he goes out and plays Colorado. Like, there's just been some bad injury luck to some high profile players this year. I am not going to assign much of this to the schedule being backloaded. I know he'd also mentioned like Taman Lipsey having a bum ankle or something. Like, we really think that's because the schedule was backloaded and that's the true reason why. Like, I guess the idea being you'd be able to rest a little bit more regularly throughout the season if you hadn't done that. I don't know. I don't think there's enough evidence presented to me to think this is some massive mistake. And I would say you got to load up that schedule, man. You got to load up that schedule if you're the Big 12. All it takes, if you go win the national championship this year, that narrative is going to come shooting right back. Someone just needs to take care of business, and Houston damn near did it last year. Damn near did it. And you have a bunch of chances to do it this year. Houston will have a shot again. Obviously, Arizona does. I mean, to me, I think Arizona is the best team in the country. We'll see if that plays out in the NCAA tournament, but you've got that. Iowa State certainly is in that conversation. Kansas has upside with Darren Peterson. If you could bottle up Big Monday, speaking of Kansas, they've got that upside. Texas Tech, it's going to be tougher now without JT Toppin, but maybe they are still in the mix a bit there as well. Like, you will have some chances to do that. Have one team go and win the national championship, and all of this will take care of itself. We've seen it with the Big Ten. Like, the Big 12 is a bit like Big Ten football top heavy right now, where you've got like 4 or 5 just great teams, and then there is a pretty big drop off. But that's what matters, is that you have those great teams. And a part of it is because perception-wise, when they are playing on Big Monday over and over again, and that's what people see, that helps the perception of your league, even if the bottom is soft. So I don't think this is some big, massive issue. Now, I have made the point. I think Big 12 basketball is what SEC football thinks it is. And I'll explain that if you click here.